Hi guys, welcome back to the Home and Homestead. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new, I'm Rebecca. Today we're going to be doing some baking. We'll be baking a really delicious snack. If you've ever had wheat thins, you'll know that they're a nice, sweet, wheat-flavored, crispy cracker. Today we're going to be making my recipe for homemade wheat thins. We'll be using fresh milled flour that I prepared in my Nutri-Mill grain mill. So this is a wonderful way to control the ingredients for a delicious snack that you, your family, and friends can enjoy. So let's head to the kitchen so we can do some baking and make some homemade wheat thins. So here I have the collection bin from my Nutri-Mill grain mill. I have the classic and has a nice large capacity bin, as you can see here. So once I make my fresh milled flour, I usually just use a little cover for a saucepan, and then I can just place this bowl in the kitchen and use the flour throughout my baking projects. So I have some fresh milled whole wheat flour, and I did some hard red wheat berries to create this flour. It has a nice soft consistency here, and that's what we'll be using today to make our wheat thins. I'll be doing a single batch, so I'll be using my KitchenAid stand mixer today. If I were to do a really large batch, I would use my Bosch Universal Plus mixer because that has a huge capacity. So if you're doing a really big batch of these crackers, maybe you're having a large get-together or Super Bowl party or something like that, then you might want to use a larger capacity mixer if you have one as well. So for today, we'll be using the KitchenAid, and I like to use the Flex Edge attachment for that. It has this nice little scraper on the side that works well when making doughs and things like this. So into the mixing bowl, I'm going to add 1 cup of our fresh milled whole wheat flour. And to that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. These are a nice sweet wheat cracker. If you find that's a little too sweet for you, you could certainly tone it down to your preference, but this is what I prefer. To this, we'll add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and an 1/8 teaspoon of paprika. And this will make up the dry ingredients. So I just mix it together a little bit with a spoon. I'll show you what the mixture looks like. And to that, we're going to add a 1/4 cup or a 1/2 stick of butter. Now let's head over to the KitchenAid stand mixer and get this butter creamed with our mixture that we created here. So here we are at the KitchenAid stand mixer. I've attached the bowl. So let's just lower the paddle. And I'll put this on a medium-high setting, and we'll mix this until the butter has nice small pieces created throughout this flour mixture. There we go. So now the butter has formed into these nice small pieces throughout our cracker flour mixture. Now we're going to add the wet ingredient, which is a 1/4 cup of water. So I'll turn the mixer back on, add the water, and we're going to mix this until the dough starts to pull away from the side of the mixing bowl and has formed a nice dough ball. There we go. So now all of this dough has pulled away from the side of the mixing bowl and has formed our dough ball. So let's head back to the work surface so we can roll this out and create our wheat thin crackers. So here is our wheat thins dough. And I have a little pastry mat here, and I'm just going to use some of that fresh milled flour to sprinkle the work surface. a little bit more on top. And now we're going to roll our cracker dough to create our desired thickness to make our wheat thins. So the thinner that you roll this out, the crispier your cracker is going to be. So I try to shoot for about a 1/16 inch thickness to get a nice crispy cracker. I'm also trying to keep the shape in more of a rectangle if I can. That just helps later when creating the crackers, when we cut them and get them ready for baking. All right, that looks pretty good there. So now what I'm going to use is a little mini roller. You could use a pizza cutter or even just a nice sharp knife. And I'm going to start creating my crackers. So you can do whatever size and shape cracker you'd like. I'm going to make some little squares. Now that we have our crackers cut to size, we're going to put them onto a parchment paper lined baking sheet. I like to use a little spatula to help me get it off of the surface. And these will not rise or spread very much. You can really put them nice and close on the baking sheet. All right, so here we have 36 wheat thins crackers, all cut to the size that I want and ready to go into the oven. I have the oven preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, so we're going to bake these for 8 to 10 minutes or until the crackers are nice and crispy and have a slightly golden brown color to them. So let's get these into the oven to bake. All right, here we have our homemade wheat thins crackers, all baked and nice and crispy and golden brown. So now what I'm going to do is allow these to cool completely on a cooling rack. And if you may have noticed, I did have some scraps when I was cutting these crackers to size. You could certainly use those scraps and cut them into the nice little squares or rectangles or whatever shape you want for your crackers. What I like to do is I roll it out and I make just one big thin cracker. That way I have something to kind of nibble on. And then I have the nice shaped ones to use for the party or whatever that we're going to be using the crackers for. So let me get this little misfit cracker into the oven. We'll bake that for about 8 to 10 minutes. These crackers took 10 minutes to get to this point. So what I'll do is allow these to cool completely, then we'll have a closer look and a taste of these homemade wheat thins. All right, here we have our homemade wheat thins. These are nice and crispy and sweet little crackers. You can eat them as they are, or they serve wonderfully with various dips and cheeses and things like that. You can put these out for a quick lunch or after school snack, or have this at a dinner party, game day, maybe a Super Bowl party, and throughout the holidays as well. These will store really nicely in an airtight container for about a week. And I did a single batch today, and it makes about 40 to 50 crackers, depending on the size and shape that you decide to make. It's a really simple and delicious cracker recipe, so if you enjoy making your own home milled flour, this might be a nice option for you for using up some of your wheat berries, or to try out a new recipe for making some homemade crackers as well. So let's have a closer look at this cracker. So you can see the texture of this little wheat thin cracker. It has a nice crispy crumb to it, and you control the ingredients for this really simple and delicious cracker recipe. If you'd like more ideas or inspiration on baking recipes, be sure to check out that playlist on the topic. I also have a number of different playlists on recipes, food preservation, organization, and home decor. If you're new to the channel or haven't done so yet, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button below and continue to watch my channel, The Home and Homestead, for some more homemade, homegrown, and home style inspiration. Well, I hope that you're having a wonderful day. See you next time. Take care.